So I spend most of the time complaining about living in Tokyo as the never-ending traffic lights, swarms of people and dire shortage of green spaces make it any runner's worst nightmare. But for once, this urban jungle is the place to be. The World Champs are here, so it's time to dive into the action and see what it takes to make it to the top. Which is the reason I quit my job and moved out to Japan in the first place. I want to run for Great Britain in the next Olympics and annihilate the 2:10 marathon barrier en route. But there's just one slight problem with that. I'm nowhere near as talented as the other professional runners. So I guess there's only one thing for it. I just have to train harder, not smarter. And I want to start upping the levels now, pushing towards those 280k weeks, putting my biggest mileage block ever. Now the slight problem I've got in Tokyo is that it's still 35 degrees. So I just made the call to book a spontaneous trip, go to the nearest highlands from Tokyo. It's like a 45-minute train. That bullet train coming in clutch there. So I'm back in Nagano Prefecture. This is Karuizawa. And I've come all the way here pretty much for the sake of tomorrow's long run. Now I know that sounds a little bit extreme, but there's a reason. And there's also a reason why I'm scranning down this pass now. I'm in carbo loading mode because tomorrow I've got a 70k long run on the cards. So I'm going for my longest run ever, that old school, over distance Japanese style, paying homage to the great Seko-san, the Soul Brothers, my unofficial mentors and coaches. It's now time to step things up. Enough with the child's play, 50k isn't gonna cut it anymore. We gotta step things up, 70k, let's go. So I'm currently on dinner number 3, I guess you could call it. I went out to a restaurant, tonkatsu set meal for the first one. Then I hit up a convenience store for some onigiri, and I'm just now getting this little pasta bowl in while watching some Harry Potter behind the scenes creating the world. It really doesn't get better than that on a Monday night. And I just found this a cheap little apartment place. I've got the futon there, the tatami mats. It's that classic traditional Japanese style. Pretty good sized room though, actually, this. And it was pretty cheap. So I've booked here for a few days. I'm not coming literally just for the long run, but I'm thinking I can get one solid week of training in before the World Champs starts in Tokyo. So I've got to be back in Tokyo on Saturday because I've got a bunch of tickets for the World Champs. That's going to be sick. But ideally, I want to stay out of Tokyo as long as possible to get some good training in because there's just no way I can hit the same levels when I'm back there in that heat. In terms of fueling for tomorrow, I'm going to go probably a banana, some pancakes, onigiri rice ball, and then some of these dangos. It's like sticky rice with red bean paste on top. And then I'll just rely on gels and drinks and stuff throughout to just top me up, keep me going. So without any further ado, let's bring on this behemoth of a long run. Right, we've got a classic 70k to just kickstart the morning. It's your standard Tuesday. So let's get rolling then. So I'm through 5k and I'm thinking for this, I'm gonna try and hit around 4-minute flat, maybe dip under on average. I'll probably start off a bit conservative and then build into it. I think I've become a bit of an old man because it always takes a little while to wake up my legs now. So as predicted, I've started loosening up a bit. It was a little rough at the start, but actually just now the sun's popped up. I was enjoying the cloud cover. It was humid, but without that direct sunlight, it makes it a lot easier. But now, we're gonna be in for a toasty one. But this is still dreamy conditions compared to back home. It's a lovely area for running this, so I'm just exploring like a freestyle loop completely. And it definitely makes it a lot more interesting than trying to rip a 70k around Tokyo. So the miles were flying by as I went on this sightseeing tour around Karuizawa. Okay, I'm 32k in, it's 20 miles and literally just coming back to my crib here. So I've left a bottle here I'm gonna pick up. It's the first proper drink I'm getting in. Over 2 hours of running, so very dehydrated. I have to switch on my route as well because the one I was running on was completely like in the open, like no shade at all. So I'm gonna try and find a shady bit because yeah, it's pretty brutal out there. So I'm back on the roads now. I actually made a little shoe switch. I put on my super shoes with a heel cup in, feeling my Achilles just twinge a little bit. So these ones should give a bit more protection. And as expected, the Hyperion 5s did the job from then on. So just tick through halfway. I've only got another 2 hours and 15 minutes. We're basically in the home straight now. Start wrapping things up. I feel like a massive boost after getting that drink in. It's annoying, I hate stopping on a run. I had to stop for a few minutes to get drinks, change my shoes. That's the slight disadvantage of doing this on my own, as opposed to with the team where they can just hand you bottles and stuff. But my plan is I've left the bottle out and I'm going to do another sort of 20k loop, come back around at 50k, get a good bit of drink and then power on through the last 20. And as the distance went up, my cart horse instincts kicked in and I was trundling away, no problems. Quick little update, 3 hours in, just looping back now for my drink. I'm on 2 podcasts down, listen to the Easy Double Boys and then the Waffling podcast, a little bit of comedy, easy listening. And soon enough, I was past the marathon point and onto the ultra distances. All right, 50 big runs down, feeling very comfy, but this is entering uncharted territory. So 50k would be my sort of classic long run. I've done one run longer than that, 67k for the Wings for Life ultra race. It was obviously a lot quicker, so much higher than today. But the actual time of running today is going to be pretty monstrous. Yeah, that's the big challenge, being on your feet for so long. But just when I thought it was smooth sailing, disaster struck out of nowhere in the form of a low battery warning. Now with 12k to go, there's no doubt that I'll make it to the finish. I've actually still got plenty of energy, but whether my watch will, yeah, it's a completely different story. I may have just outrun my watch. We all know if it's not on Strava, it doesn't count. So I'm actually terrified that I'm gonna lose this 70k run if my watch dies near the end. But my Koros managed to dig deep and power on to the end. Oh, there we go, a little 70k. Good stuff. Heading straight to the 7-Eleven. I start getting some food in. The recovery's got to start immediately. That's the thing. Like, the effort's not too hard. I shouldn't ban me up too bad, but if I'm not taking enough fuel after, that's when it could wipe me out for days. But all in all, yeah, not too bad. I feel like there's a future in the ultras there. Could be bloody good fun. So let's just say I'm eyeing up a couple ultra races next year in between my main marathons, because I'll use any excuse to get some more mileage in. But now, for once, I'm buzzing to be living in Tokyo because we've got a local world champs to enjoy. Oh geez, I'm in an absolute battle against time right now. The men's marathon has just had to kick off. I'm pegging it over to the start. Had to squeeze in my morning run because, you know, there's triple days, wait for no man. But now, yeah, I'm worried I might miss the start of the marathon. So they start inside the National Stadium, do a couple loops out and then come back. And because it is so hot and humid, it changes the dynamic so much. Like, it's not like one of those majors where you pretty much know who's gonna win. It's just fastest time on paper. This is a complete game changer. Like, even now, I'm actually dripping in sweat. Barely cooled down for my run, but yesterday in the women's race, we had the Uruguayan girl, Julia, who actually grew up and lived a lot of time in the UK. And she popped off, ended up getting 3rd in her 2nd ever marathon. Crazy. But it just shows that when it comes to champs, anything can happen. So I think the marathon's so exciting. So much better than one of the world majors. And it's like 30 degrees right now, even though it's early morning. So it's gonna be an absolute bloodbath of a marathon, but I cannot wait. All right, let's get over there, come on. Now, thank God there was a false start in this marathon, which has got to be a first, but they ended up bringing everyone back, which bought me that little bit of extra time. God, I made it just in time. Here I'm at about 2k or 1.5k. See, the streets are flooded. People bloody love it. So for the men, I'm cheering for Emil, obviously GB, and then we've got for Brooke, CJ Albertson. So both of those boys, hopefully they put in a good shift. I'm calling it now, Emil to medal. You heard it here first. All right, let's go. Come on in. Let's go. So I wonder if it's going to be tactical, like with the women. Like we saw the Japanese girl at the start, Kobayashi, and then Sullivan, the actual Brooks runner as well. All 2 Americans actually from Brooks, but she put in a big shift and ended up coming 4th. It was a quality run. She pretty much took it on right from the start. It was a ballsy approach. So we'll see if any of the men do that, because it's so hard in this heat and humidity. I can catch up with you so late if you overcook it. So I can imagine there'll be a few dead bodies in that final 5k. Now, while I'd love to watch more of it out on the course, like the atmosphere's class, because I'm such a running nerd, I just can't bring myself to do it. I feel like you miss too much of the race. You know, like when you're watching a marathon out there, you might see him for 30 seconds or whatever. Whereas I want to actually track the moves, see what's happening. So I've decided to hit a little cafe right near the start finish, watch most of the race on my laptop, and then I can come out and see them at the finish. God, I'm an absolute sweaty mess right now. This is grim. I'd say the most difficult thing at the moment is that I'm showering 4 times a day. So yesterday, 3 runs, and then also went to the athletics in the evening. Because it was like 35 degrees, even at like 10 p.m, ended up dripping in sweat. And so I had to have another shower there, 4 showers. That is legendary stuff. And everyone I've met who's come over here for the champs, including a whole load of you guys that watch my videos. So thanks for all the shout outs in Yoyogi Park, but no one can believe how hot it feels. And I think a lot of the athletes completely underestimated the damage that the humidity can do, as this marathon turned into absolute carnage by the end. Every kilometre, another runner would drop out as the pack gradually got whittled down and bodies littered the course. But after enjoying the mayhem on screen safely from within an air-conditioned cafe, I timed my own final kick to perfection and hit the streets once again at the finish to see them come in.
Let's go, let's go!
Always Clayton Young, putting in about 8, and there's the Japanese condor. I'm ready! Every single runner's getting huge cheers here. Oh, the stream on my phone is delayed, so they're heading to the stadium, I think, for a lap. There's 3 of them left. Oh, it's gonna be a huge finish. They might have even finished. So I'm literally just at the stadium here, but I can't see what's going on inside. Down to a final kick. Who's gonna take it? Oh, it's gonna be Petrus, I think. Oh no! Oh no! That's a mad finish. Oh, did he get him on the line? I think the guy from Tanzania, Simba, just won it. Got a final kick in the marathon, I'm pretty sure, yeah, by about 0.01 of a second, dip on the line. Oh yes, this marathon did not disappoint, with a closer winning margin than the 100-metre final. And watching it just fires me up so much, because the dream is obviously to rep GB in the major championships. And that's what all this training I'm putting in is for. And now, especially that I'm doing these triple days, there really isn't a lot of time for anything else. Like once you've run, showered, eaten, and then prepped for the next run, you're basically getting straight out the door. So I've been struggling to try and fit in filming and stuff around that, and especially during the World Champs week, there was so much going on, different events and stuff that I was going to. Like there was a pretty cool Morton event where they were talking all about fueling and different strategies, which I've been looking at recently actually. I discussed in some recent videos. So it's quite cool to actually hear the science behind that. And then we had a random Yarmouth Kajelcha just rock up in the middle of it, even though the whole talk was in Japanese. So the poor guy didn't have a clue what was going on for most of it. And I've seen a ton of pro athletes around, like even in Yogi Park. All these elite runners are trying to infiltrate my sacred running grounds. I even saw Josh Kerr out there, who's obviously Brooks' runner. And it's been cool with a whole load of Brooks guys coming over here because they had a pop-up, so right in the center of Tokyo. Oh, sorry. I was capturing my mid-content moment.
If that doesn't make the channel, I'm gonna be upset.
That can be in the bloopers. So I know last week I didn't have a video, and apologies. I know I've ruined everyone's weekend, but I did a live stream with Yuki, one of the Japanese 800-meter runners. And so it was good fun chatting with him. He's an absolute machine, 146 800-meter guy. So he's got the wheels, complete opposite end to my cart horse speciality. But now we're lucky enough to hear from one of the runners who did actually take part in these champs. Fellow Brooks runner CJ Albertson, who's a certified marathon machine and throws out their traditional racing rulebook for his own unorthodox approach. Yeah, I apologise there after a marathon. I'm sure you don't want to be filming, but yeah, I'm sure my viewers will be very interested. So 24 hours post-marathon, out for a little jog. But yeah, how are you feeling first? How's the body?
It's all right. I mean, legs feel okay. You know, I ran slow enough that I'm not super sore.
Now, I've seen some mad videos of CJ with his heat prep before, so I was interested to see how he found it out there in the Tokyo furnace.
I have some heaters, humidifiers in my treadmill room, so I'd get real high dew points. I felt like I was prepared. Like when I got here, I didn't feel like super hot. Again, I'm sure I was, but you know, it didn't feel like you're just suffering in the heat. Yeah, for whatever reason, my body just couldn't handle that output.
Yeah.
And like getting the heat, humidity, like it is just taxing on the body and just a grueling thing. And marathons are hard in general.
Yeah, it's hard enough, even in perfect weather.
Yeah, so if your body, if something's just not quite right, guess the reality. And I really, in the 20-something marathons I've run, I've always finished pretty strong and really haven't had a bad race. So
I was gonna say, you've gone 20 marathons without a bad run. That's not a bad run there.
I mean, I've had mediocre ones.
Yeah. But CJ is notorious for hitting back-to-back marathons and doesn't believe in the traditional approach of like a 12-week marathon block, then one race. So he was giving the great Yuki Kawauchi a run for his money. What's the secret for recovery? How are you bouncing back?
Well, I think what I'm doing is really the same type of training structure or schedule. It's just I'm doing multiple marathons in a season. The training is what's hard on your body. A single day of running a marathon isn't going to just...
It's not going to actually kill you. Yeah.
Yeah, like
you should be able to bounce
it's
back.
hard for sure. It's going to take a few recovery days. Like I'm not putting my body through more overall work. And I think I actually take more easy weeks and down weeks than a lot of people. I'm training a lot, so I might as well race a little more.
It's like, yeah, you might as well give it a shot.
That's the
fun
point.
bit, yeah.
That's the point of training.
And almost you can use it as like a stimulus as well. Like you get fitter by racing, I find as well. Yeah, I rate the strategy, just back-to-back marathons. And so of course he's bouncing straight back after World Champs for Chicago Marathon. It's a classic quick turnaround.
Yeah.
How many weeks is that now?
3.5.
Okay.
Obviously during the race and right after the race yesterday, I was like, I do not want to run again.
So it's not happening.
Like I'm not running till 2026. You know, I think
Give it a couple of days and you'll be back
days.
on it. And then I've got to ask, so people love a bit of Japan content. This is your first time in Japan. You probably haven't seen that much of it, but yeah, what's the overall thoughts, the vibe so far?
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, the food is great. I think the overall atmosphere is good.
Yeah, everyone's very friendly.
Friendly, polite.
Oh, you said with the food, what did you hit for a carbo load?
Well, I've been eating a lot in the hotel, like I was at the athlete hotel.
So is that all provided? You get all the food?
Yeah, so I've had a lot of rice. I just love basically seaweed wrapped rice.
They're a classic. It's like, onigiri, that rice ball.
Seaweed and rice. I had one of those, or 2 or 3 of those pretty much every day.
And post-run, we hit a Japanese taste testing session, which is an essential part of any post-run recovery. But good luck to CJ in the build-up to Chicago Marathon, and I'll be harnessing his marathon mindset over the next couple months as I attempt to hit 8 races in 8 weeks. I'll be revealing the game plan for that in the next video, as well as announcing my next target marathon, so we've got some huge stuff to come. But thanks everyone for watching. This has been Jake with Ran to Japan. I'll see you in the next one. Remember, train harder, not smarter. Let's go.